Guys, hear me? A very good evening and thank you so much for joining us on BeeTv Major News at 6, reaching you from Benin City, the Edo State capital, Nigeria. I am Esoe Osemege. Before we let you in on the news and details, here are the highlights of tonight's report.
As a result of the phase system, it's also a contributing factor to people not having the awareness. Now, one thing is to have the awareness, another thing to have the access or the ability to do so. If we've been taught that from the beginning, the essence of being insured health-wise, then I think that will salvage that situation and also save us from that future impediments.
The United Nations Congress on Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice declared that in order to promote the interests of victims and the rehabilitation of offenders, there's a need to develop restorative justice policies, procedures, and programs that include alternatives to prosecution.
Things will take the patch now don't go up. We still need to consider because fingers no dey equal. Are we now, by the time we consider all that, when we go market, we won't go buy, the money no dey reach.
Now moving straight into the news in details, we begin. To boost agricultural productivity, to strengthen the economy by creating opportunities in the real sectors of agriculture, manufacturing and construction, as well as provide urgent economic relief for Nigerians, President Bola Tinubu has approved the immediate rollout of the National Construction and Household Support Program to cover all geopolitical zones in the country. Under the program, the Sokoto-Badagry Highway, the Trans-Saharan, and the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highways are being accorded priority attention. These are part of the resolutions of the National Economic Council NEC meeting on yesterday. The report. It was the 142 meeting of the National Economic Council and President Bola Tinubu opted to participate. Apparently, there were present issues to discuss with the leaders of the subnational government. These issues included the continued effort at ameliorating the social and economic hardship in town. The issues prolonged the meeting for over 4 hours of deliberation under the National Construction and Household Support Programs for all the geopolitical zones. President Bola Tinubu approved full counterpart financing for Port Harcourt-Maiduguri Railway to traverse rivers Abia, Enugu, Benue, Nasarawa, Plateau, Bauchi, Gombe, Yobe, and Borno State. The Bada-Abuja segment of the Lagos-Kano Standard Gauge Railway is to link Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Niger, Abuja, Kaduna, and Kano State. The Sokoto-Badagry Road project is specially prioritized for its strategic importance to the agricultural sustainability of a nation. Other items under the National Construction and Household Support Program included one-off allocation of state and the Federal Capital Territory of 10 billion naira for the procurement of buses and CNG uplift program, delivery of 50,000 naira uplift grants each to 100,000 families per state for 3 months, provision for labor unions and civil society organization, deployment of 155 billion naira for the purchase and sale of assorted foodstuff to be distributed across the nation. President Tinubu urged state governors to work together to meet the needs of citizens, promising the needed support to ensure that Nigerians are relieved of the hardship. Esoe Osemege, reporting for BeeTv News. Moving on, the Spaces for Change, in collaboration with West African Civil Society, says for Nigerians to witness any meaningful and impactful development, civil societies need to strive to change and redirect their programs towards issues that has been neglected by the government and private sector. This was the overall decision at the National Organization Development Summit, where CSOs converge on the nation's capital to chart a way forward to drive change and innovation for resilience and performance. The report is presented by Joyce Iyere.
National development requires concerted effort not only on the part of the government, but the cooperation and partnership of private sector and civil society. This gathering of civil and developmental organizations is saying that more needs to be done in propagating the right projects that are tailored to meet developmental needs.
Society organizations serve as the lifeblood of our democracy, acting as crucial bridges between the government and the people. They are essential in fostering citizen participation, promoting human rights, and advancing social justice. By amplifying the voices of marginalized communities, monitoring government performances, and ensuring transparency and accountability, civil society organizations strengthen the democratic fabric of our nation.
Every year we come together to reflect on our role as civil society, as accountability workshops, the contributions we are making and how effective those contributions are. What are our wins? What are the challenges we are facing? How can we overcome them? How can we do better so that we can be more effective in our role of driving social change?
For Nigeria, the civil society, acting on its own and with little collaboration with government, is faced with the task of carrying the burden for advocating for social and developmental change. At a time of global crisis and awakening the development sector, the agreed needs to start asking itself honestly and urgently the type of development it want to promote. Joyce Iyere reporting for BeeTv News.
Ways to improve on the power sector in Nigeria took a center stage at a conference organized by Chapel Hill Durham in collaboration with the United States Agency for International Development. The conference suggests ways the Nigerian power sector can be improved upon. BeeTv News Gift Uwagboe has the details.
Conference, which was organized by the Chapel Hill Durham in collaboration with the United States Agency for International Development (USAID), Power Africa and Prosper Africa, was aimed at achieving increased investment in infrastructure projects across Nigeria and providing information on infrastructure as a development tool. In his presentation, CEO Chapel Hill Durham Bolaji Balogun emphasized the need to finance infrastructure projects in the nation's local currency to boost the economy.
If we continue to finance infrastructure projects, particularly infrastructure debt, primarily in US dollars, at some point, it may be 5 years or 6 years, it may even be the year after you finance the project. If there's a significant devaluation event, you are going to end up with some indigestion.
Speaking on the role of the power sector in unlocking Nigeria's potential, Nigerian Mission Director USAID, Melissa A. Jones, noted that the renewable energy sector is a fertile ground for innovation and entrepreneurship.
As we navigate the complexities of the 21st century, we must harness the full potential of this sector while also embracing the promise of renewable energy.
Nigeria has a debt of talent. You know, we have a very great demography in terms of talent, but the actual capacity to work in the sector is still missing a bit. Then there's also the famous supply chain and logistics issues.
The major challenge, I mean, for me, it's government policy. There is no clarity in terms of policy direction. What do you want to see in the next 10 years?
The event underscores the key role regulatory framework and private sector participation plays in Nigeria infrastructure development, ecosystem, and necessary actions that should be taken towards driving investment into the nation's power sector. Gift Uwagbo reporting for BeeTv News.
And moving straight into Ondo State, in Ondo, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency says it's prosecuted 241 offenders between May 2023 and June 2024. The state commander of the NDLEA, Kayode Raji, stated this at work to mark the 2024 United National Day Against Abuse and Illicit Drugs Trafficking in Akure. He said the agency has also seized over 10,000 kilograms of cannabis sativa in the last 1 year and would continue to find persons who continue to invest in the planting of the illicit drugs.
And all that, to let people know the effect of drugs, to bring it home, the awareness, the effect, what drugs do to their body. We have been doing a lot. Our work is largely in the forest. We've arrested so much, we seized over 10,000 kilograms of cannabis and other assorted drugs this year alone. We have also arrested over 120 suspects, and we have successfully prosecuted and convicted about 45.
It's a thing that we should need to condemn outrightly, because we're in a situation whereby we find ourselves in this injuriousness, and whereby youth have actually seen drugs as things that they use, and it's so injurious to our body system. And it's on this premise that we are here this morning to speak about the injuriousness and about the maliciousness of hard drugs in our society.
The National Health Insurance Scheme is a social health insurance program designed by the federal government of Nigeria to complement sources of finance in the health sector and to improve access to health care for the majority of Nigerians. In this report, our crew took to the street of Edo State to inquire from residents why they do not engage in health insurance scheme and some of the challenges of those who are involved are facing. The report.
Health insurance is for everyone in Edo State. So long you are a resident of Edo State, health insurance is for me. Health insurance is for you.
The National Health Insurance Scheme is a social health insurance program designed by the federal government of Nigeria to complement sources of finance in the health sector and to improve access to health care for the majority of Nigerians. However, unlike most developed countries, Nigerian citizens develop a state of apathy when health insurance scheme is discussed. Here are some of their reasons.
The truth is that you understand that what you don't know is bigger than you. A lot of people have not been sensitized about what it means to have health insurance. This is also as a result of the FACE system. It's also a contributing factor to people not having the awareness. Now, one thing is to have the awareness, another thing to have the access or the ability to do so. If we've been taught that from the beginning the essence of being insured health-wise, then I think that will salvage that situation, also save us from that future impediments.
You know, health insurance is matter. Many people is sick, many is dying. You understand? There's no money to take care of themselves, even to fix the problem.
Others highlighted the reason for non-engagement in the health insurance program to lack of enough income as they cannot afford to engage in the scheme. Some added that due to low healthcare service delivery by the program, whereby they go to the hospitals and they do not get medications for free except if they pay in cash, or are told that the insurance scheme do not cover some medicines, are among the reasons for the lack of interest.
In Nigeria, we don't have that mentality of doing insurance, and again the way things are is not friendly right now. So somebody cannot be thinking of food to eat and not thinking of what to do for health insurance. I beg, it's not in our tradition. That one is for white men.
I think it's all about income, because when you look at the charges, most of these insurance firms and even the state-owned insurance projects are giving, most of them are ambiguous. You know, for instance, in my own office now, they deduct as much as 15,000 per month for insurance coverage. So most times, and when you even go to the hospital, most of them will tell you they recognize hospital by your firm. They will tell you that they don't do HNIS, NIS or whatever they call it. They will tell you they don't do it again. So all these contradictions, a lot of people cannot bear with it.
The insurance too, they are not reliable. That is one. And the package they are offering, when you get to the hospital, they will tell you your insurance does not cover this. So that is not encouraging people.
In an exclusive interview with the Acting Director, Public Relations Department of the Edo State Health Insurance Commission, Mrs. Trinitas Omoniwo, said some of the reasons for the challenges in this sector, ascribing it to lack of awareness while emphasizing that the Edo government is committed to providing quality, affordable and accessible healthcare services to Edo people. She also said that cautionary measures are being put in place to make sure citizens who are engaged in the insurance scheme get value for their money.
And sometimes this healthcare is actually not affordable. Sometimes the quality is not really up to standard. And sometimes it's even difficult to access this healthcare. So he brought the healthcare into existence on 3 main key areas: quality of service, affordability of service, and accessibility of service. So in 2019, he passed it into law through the State House of Assembly, so it is backed by law. As you can see, with regards to the different prices on this plan, there are several benefits attached to it. As you go higher, the benefits are more. The duration of these benefits increase depending on how high your plan is. So, and these health plans are not restricted to civil servants only, because there's this perception that health insurance is just for those who are working with government, those who are in civil service. No.
In desiring a better and efficient delivery of public services, the provision of good quality healthcare should be considered a top priority to all citizens. Esoa Osemege, reporting for BeeTv News. The national and state steering committees on child labor across the 36 states of the Federation and FCT have been tasked to intensify pragmatic measures towards the protection of child's rights and elimination of child labor in Nigeria. This was the thrust of the National Children Conference on the elimination of child labor in commemoration of the 2024 World Day Against Child Labor. Oluwarotimi Oguniyi takes it from here.
From different schools, these children lay bare their understanding of what child labor is. It is clear many understand the implication of child labor and do not wish it on anybody, forsake intervention to end the scourge.
Child labor, from what I've learned, is when you force a child to engage in activities that affect their mental, social, physical well-being, and which can totally take away their childhood from them.
Domestic house help, selling things and the rest, there are those forms of child labor.
This National Children Conference on the elimination of child labor is organized by the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment in collaboration with the International Labour Organization.
It is a global menace that has proven to potentially hinder the development of children, leading to a lifelong physical and psychological damage and keeping the children out of school.
April 2024, Nigeria Bureau of Statistics launched the Nigeria Child Labor Survey, which shows that there are more than 62 million children aged 5 to 17 in the country, out of which 24 million are engaged in child labor and 17 million in hazardous work.
We definitely look forward to having the labor standard bill passed, because there are a lot of provisions that actually concern the elimination of child labor that we're looking forward to. One of it is the minimum age for employment.
The review and validation of all relevant laws, regulations and policies to advocate are key and instrument to eliminating child labor. Oluwarotimi Oguniyi, reporting for BeeTv News.
At an NBA Law Week, the methodology of taxation as a beacon for national development and security was largely explored during the morning session of what is to mark the final day of a week-long discourse on law and societal matters. Present to do justice to the topic were Kingsley Odabi, Esquire, together with Sylvester Egberase, Anerwa Jonathan, Esquire, and Iyakure Kabaru, who also discussed the subject. The reports.
And so he actually expressed his apologies for being not in place for societal stability and development.
At the concluding sessions of the long law week put together with the theme Law as a Tool for Economic Advancement and National Security, which formed the foundation for the topic of taxation in national development and security,
which was discussed today. Although the Speaker, Chukwuka Ikuazom, was absent, he was ably represented by Kingsley Odabi Esquire, who threw much light on the concept of taxation and how it concerns national development and security. He noted that taxes help to provide funds for government and ensure security of the nation.
Suffice to say that almost 90% of the revenue accrued to the government comes from taxation. And there is a strict relationship, there's a direct relationship between the tax contributed by a particular persons in the country has a direct relationship with the services that the government can put in place.
Also part of the conversation were Ainerua Jonathan Esquire, Iyakore Kabaru, and Sylvester Egberiase, who maintained that citizens should pay the much-needed price of paying taxes for the good of the nation, despite the inconveniences it comes with.
So it is not really a joyful thing to pay taxes to me. After getting my money, somebody sees somewhere and tells me bring part of it. So it looks nonsensical, but the reality is that the tax will be used for the betterment of every one of us.
Capitalizing on that, the overtaking administration in the same pattern has increased the IGR from 100% to 600%, so that in Edo State we can physically see the difference in governance during Oshomole and Obasanjo's time compared to the governance before Oshomole.
They should be taxed. There's no point, chasing them all over the place. Whoever that purchases a car is arrested, is taken to the right authorities, and of course he pays tax on that vehicle.
In the final session, which had Thomas Ulimfo Esquire as its chairperson and Honorable Justice Mary Isweli as the speaker, alongside other discussants, explored the topic the Justice Twins, what the bench sees sitting, what the bar sees standing, which emphasized on the need for lawyers who represent the face of the rule of law to collaborate with the judges to ensure speedy justice by adopting alternative dispute resolution methods. This will help aid judicial process and cement the relationship between the bar and the bench.
Their decisions aim to protect individual rights, promote societal welfare, and maintain the integrity of the judicial system. This commitment to legal principles forms the bedrock of judicial decision-making, aiming to uphold fairness and justice for all parties involved.
So, 3, paragraph 2 of ROPC, now 2023, says that the lawyer, in discharge of his professional duties, should, is dealing with what should, because that led to some kind of discussion, shall inform his client of the option of ADR. How many of us do that?
The Law Week activities will be rounded off with the chairman's dinner later today. Faithful Okbokam, reporting for BeeTv News.
Consolidated APC grassroots movement, CAGRAM, have officially inaugurated an independent campaign council and a secretariat to fully carry out its function of reaching out to the people at the grassroots. The inauguration of the Independent Campaign Council was performed by the director of the Mondo Kwewolo campaign, Apostle Suleiman Faraday Azekome, along with other party chieftains from the APC, who included a two-time member of the Edo State House of Assembly, Honorable Paul Owombamu. BeeTv News' Oyi Lambert reports that the newly inaugurated members of the CAGRAM Campaign Council pledged their loyalty to the cause of delivering the APC in the September 21 governorship polls. BeeTv News' best orator brings the details of the report.
The
The Edo State chapter of the consolidated APC grassroots movement, CAGRAM, an affiliate group of the APC, had officially inaugurated its independent campaign council ahead of the governorship elections to champion the cause of Senator Monday Okpebholo and Right Honorable Dennis Idahosa. Apart from the inauguration ceremony of the campaign council, the secretariat of CAGRAM Edo State chapter was officially opened by the state chairman of CAGRAM, Dr. Andy Omosefe. The ceremony was graced by several stalwarts, including the APC Edo South Campaign Deputy Director General, Honorable Pius Alile, a former two-time member Edo State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Paul Hombamu, who represented the APC governorship candidate Senator Monday Okpebholo, as well as Apostle Suleiman Faraday Ozekome. In a remark, the acting national chairman of CAGRAM, Engineer Murisik Abiodun, said he felt very honored to be among the team in Edo State.
Because what we are here to do is actually to start the grassroots work and ensure that Monday Okpebholo become the governor and the Dennis Idahosa become the deputy. We have a lot of work to do and we have started.
Addressing party chieftains and faithful, the state chairman, CAGRAM, Dr. Andy Omosefe, stated that they have the backing of the top excellence of the APC.
Before elections, we existed, and after elections, we will continue to exist because mobilization is an ongoing thing. It's not an end in itself. It is a means to an end.
In a speech, representative of the APC candidate, Senator Monday Okpebholo, at the ceremony, Honorable Paul Hombamu, said he was very pleased with the caliber of people in the group.
I want to enjoin you. You must join Okpebholo in this fight. The man is free from scandal. True. The man is a true personality. True. He loves with his heart. And is very unscathed in licentiousness for evil.
On his part, the Deputy Director General of APC Campaign Council in Edo South, Honorable Pius Alile, gave warm commendations to the chairman and members of the group for their commitment to the party. Honorable Alile therefore promised to pay for 2-year rent of the secretariat and also pledged the sum of 200,000 naira as donation to all members of CAGRAM in attendance.
We should have no choice but to support you. And by the grace of God, we continue to support you. And before I leave here, I will drop 200,000 for the people that have.
The inauguration of the campaign council of the group was performed by Apostle Suleiman Faraday Ozekome.
You must not go against the law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Go out there, tell people about CAGRAM, and also tell people about APC, tell people about Senator Monday Okpebholo.
In an interview with newsmen, Honorable Pius Alile, Right Honorable Paul Hombamu, and Apostles Suleiman Faraday Ozekome, as well as the state chairman of CAGRAM, Dr. Andy Omosefe, the acting national chairman, Engineer Murisik Abiodun, the state woman leader, Princess Faith Obozuwa, and others said that the course charted by CAGRAM is in tandem with that of the APC and not a competition with the party, but an affiliate body as it will help reach out to the grassroots.
It's a collaboratory agency, and they're going to work with other party structure to ensure that APC is delivered. From the area of personality, those who are involved, I can assure you that this parallel move of CAGRAM will do considerable good. They have not taken CAGRAM to any other political party. They decided to bring CAGRAM to APC.
With the tenure of Senator Monday Okpebholo, the whole Edo State will witness change.
Senator Monday Okpebholo, aka Akpakumiza, and Right Honorable Dennis Idahosa, the Deputy Governor, will be sworn in as the new governor, the incoming governor in Edo State in November.
We'll be going around the 18 local government areas in Edo State. We have people in the 192 wards in Edo State, and we're also going to be setting up a unit structure any moment from now.
Women are in support of Monday Okpebholo. I have the belief that CAGRAM has the capacity, the ability to mobilize the 18 local governments to deliver Okpebholo come September 21st.
The newly inaugurated CAGRAM Campaign Council in Edo State is expected to reach out to all the 192 wards of the state. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
incident has undoubtedly affected small-scale business owners, and the local vulcanizers are not exempted. In this special report, BeeTv News correspondent takes us on a tour in the world of vulcanizing and how local vulcanizers are faring amidst the present economic hardship riddling the nation. The reports. In Nigeria and most parts of Benin City, vulcanizers are usually found by the roadside repairing, maintaining or servicing car tires. The operation ranges from inflating low tires to checking tire pressure, sealing up puncture tires, replacing tire tubes, replacing tires with spares, selling used tires, and other miscellaneous tire repair works. It is unarguably one of the most predominant small-scale jobs within the city, as it usually attracts patronage from motorists and vehicles in the locality. However, things seem to have taken a drastic turn as an interview with some of the local vulcanizers in the Benin metropolis revealed that they are experiencing low patronage due to the economic hardship in the nation.
Fuel don't go up. Initially before we pump 50 naira, we enter 100 naira, we enter 150. Today now 300 naira. But so see the complaint. Say they don't get that 300 naira, but it all depends on your approach. If you talk to me, where I go do one for you 200 naira, 400 naira. But if you want time, me say you know, you have to use that 300, you will pay me complete 300 naira. And in terms of patch, normally patch, the equipment, things what the patch now don't go up. We still need to consider because fingers not they equal. And we now, by the time we consider all that, when we go market, we won't go buy, the money no they reach.
They emphasize how their customers are complaining that tire inflation, which used to be as cheap as 50 naira per tire, is now 300 naira per tire, not to mention the cost of maintaining and patching tires up. They, however, mention that they pay taxes and due to the high cost of living, they have little or nothing to take care of their families.
Before we get work, then as a corner now, this is what I sit down. No work, nothing. And now to buy tire, no problem. See work where I work now. Since yesterday now, it's for the grant. We get a no money. We would suffer. We don't know what you want to do. May government try to help us.
Work no day again now. To buy food on our hala. You pump tire for place. If you take down the price, it go first come out. So not be so that they do it before. We don't manage because we no fit forehand for waste, just the way make another person come take care of you. Work no day because of the hardship when they now.
They called on the state government to look into ways to implement policies that will favor small-scale businesses like themselves. Esoa Osemege reporting for BeeTv News. Moving on, the federal government, in collaboration with the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, is fine-tuning a document in policy and practice directions on restorative justice in Nigeria's judicial system. The document is, however, undergoing a review and validation by stakeholders in the justice sector. The report is presented by Oluwarotimi Oguni.
Restorative justice, criminal justice system that focuses on the rehabilitation of offenders through reconciliation with victims and community at large. The main goal of restorative justice is to repair harm by providing an opportunity for those harmed. Stakeholders at the review and validation meeting in Abuja listed programs under the concepts of restorative justice to include mediation and conflict resolution, family group conferences, victim impact panels, victim offenders mediation, psychosentencing, and community reparative boards.
The United Nations Congress on Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice declared that in order to promote the interests of victims and the rehabilitation of offenders, there's a need to develop restorative justice policies, procedures, and programs that include alternatives to prosecution.
Adopting those documents is the first step in establishing a criminal justice system that provides an opportunity to all affected parties, that is offenders, victims, their families, and the community to participate in addressing the crime and repairing the harm caused by it.
Considering the relevance of the document to be passed to the National Assembly soon, the event attracted a wide range of stakeholders for open and constructive dialogue.
Justice offers unique opportunity to foster a more compassionate and inclusive justice system address the root causes of conflicts and crimes, promote accountability and responsibility, support victims, recovery and empowerment.
If eventually passed into law, it will agenda a shift from retributive to restorative justice, with excluding some capital offences. Oluwarotimi Oguniyi, reporting for BeeTv News.
And now the House of Representatives, lawmakers also conceded and passed 2 bills from President Bola Tinubu to extend the implementation of the 2023 budget and the 2023 supplementary budget to 31st December 2024. However, both bills generated debate on the floor but eventually received expeditious approval at the Committee on Supply chaired by Speaker Tajuddin Abbas. BeeTv News' Joyce Iyere has the rest of the story.
Lawmakers resumed for the second year of the 10th Assembly, and before they had 2 executive bills for consideration.
To extend implementation of the Appropriation Act 2023 and the Supplementary Appropriation Act 2023 to 31st December 2024.
The bills garnered support as well as reservation.
It's to make life easy for everyone, to complete the project, because we don't want abandoned projects.
I might not oppose this in principle because I want this project concluded. But in terms of procedure, I feel a little bit worried. A situation where we will have 3 budgets running concurrently. And then we're also expecting, sincerely, a supplementary budget for 2024, which means that we have 4 budgets running in a country.
I admire the minority leader who has been in this chamber for the last 4 sessions, and he knows the procedure and he knows the way things are being done. You cannot extend the period of supplementary budget without extending the period of the main budget, which hinges on the main budget.
I will be for it, and I will urge people to be for it. But at least at this critical moment, we must unite ourselves and we must stand collectively and send a signal to the government of the Federation.
Let the House go into executive session to discuss this issue amongst ourselves.
After the closed door section, the executive bills were passed at the Committee on Supply.
We are all agreed that it is in the best interest of the country to support this particular request from Mr. President to get the supplementary budget extended so that our security agencies who are waiting for these funds to be able to access it and be able to continue improving the security of the country.
3 other bills were passed. They are the Nigeria Anti-Doping Center Establishment Bill, the bill to domesticate and enforce the African Union Convention to protect internally displaced persons, as well as the bill prohibiting exportation of maize or its derivatives in commercial quantities. Joyce Iyere reporting for BeeTv News.
The delay in justice delivery that has characterized the judicial system in Nigeria has not only frustrated litigants but has also denied so many people justice. BeeTv News crew took this concern to the residents and lawyers in the Benin metropolis, and here's what they have to say.
A lot of hope and the enthusiasm and the belief we have is on the judiciary system. But what we have today it's not something we can write home about. If you don't have money, your case will be there for years, which is very wrong.
The role of the court in the administration of justice is sacrosanct to the stability of human society. The judiciary is ideally regarded as a last hope for the common man, considering the lofty responsibility of justice dispensation assigned to them by society. However, despite these crucial roles of the judiciary, the judicial process is often painstakingly slow and leaves much to be desired. This has made many people lose confidence in using the court, as it is mostly believed that delayed justice is denied justice. The case of one innocent bricklayer, Lukman, who was freed after 24 years behind bars due to the slow process of the judicial and executive system, has left some of our respondents baffled, some of them enlisting ways this situation can be eradicated from the system.
Justice is actually delayed. Then at the end of the day, it is not justice at all. And that is my take on it. It is the judges that the responsibility lies on. There is nothing that myself and you can do.
They are the ones who should take that responsibility of making sure that justice is delivered when it should be delivered.
Anything we say here just like nothing. And they will hear, they will refuse to listen to us. So the drive from the judiciary to the legislator and all of them are corrupt.
They don't respond on time, either because this person does not have anybody, this person does not have money, or this person does not know anybody. So we just feel that maybe the case just did but it's very wrong. So please, the judiciary system is the voice of the people. The judiciary system is the hope of the common man. And once that system is failed, it's a total failure. So please, I want to beg. It's an appeal. Our judiciary system need to wake up to responsibility, because over time, what we'll be getting responses, how they approach and what have you has been very, very, very slow and bad.
I believe they are trained personnel who are there to handle those issues. If, for instance, you're an investigative journalist, you are to investigate a case before going to the case. Before a matter has been brought to the court, I believe there should be a proper investigation before the court can actually go into that matter. So after that, it will be more easy for the judiciary to work with the way the case is, you understand? So when the matter is not being handled properly, like when it's not being investigated properly, it will cause a long-time judgment.
The legislative arm should review the various legal procedures, the various acts, starting from hearing, pre-hearing section, the hearing proper. So if those procedures, they are not tackled, if those acts that the defendants, co-defendants, or the names that they are hiding under, if they have not tackled or corrected, amended, we won't get justice.
Barrister Lawani Andrew, who gave reasons for slow pace of justice delivery, blamed lack of adequate manpower structure, such as a well-facilitated courthouses and offices for judges. In addition, Barrister N. Osayande, speaking on the delay in the delivery of justice, said that there is an overbearing on judges, citing a case of 5 judges handling over 20 cases, which will eventually lead to the delay in justice delivery. He also used the media to appeal to the Edo State Governor, Mr. Gordon Obaseki, to swear in the remaining 3 out of the 8 appointed judges for Edo State, which he claims will at least speed up the delivery of justice and reduce overbearing on the few judges.
We cannot compare our justice system here in Nigeria to abroad. First, they are still using handwriting, but over there, everything is digitalized. And apart from that, you have congestion of work. Congestion of work. Now, the case that's supposed to be given to probably 20 judges is given to about 3 or 5 persons.
Justice delayed, the some justice denied. So many factors contribute. First of all, it can be factors beyond the control of the judges and the lawyers. Sometimes issues can just come up suddenly that you didn't anticipate. For example, a lawyer is sick now, the case cannot go on, he will have an adjournment. Most times, my lawyers who are working so hard might be indisposed and cannot sit. No one wants to delay justice intentionally, but there are factors that come in that makes justice to be delayed somehow. But like I said, one way or the other, maybe the nature of our courts too can contribute to justice delayed, because if the courts are not well structured, maybe the environment is not befitting, it can delay justice.
For many years, the causes and implications of delayed justice have continued to affect the judicial system. For many, it is time for a reawakening in the judicial system, as it is not just sufficient for justice to be served, it must be served promptly. Esora Osemege, reporting for BeeTv News. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has fixed July 17 to rule on whether it will charge counsel to former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, for contempt due to their inability to produce the former governor in court. The trial was again told due to his absence in court, which prompted the prosecution counsel, Kemi Pinheiro San, to urge the courts to charge the counsel representing the former governor for contempt and professional misconduct. The prosecution counsel argued that the defense team has written an undertaking to bring their client to court, but allegedly tricked the court. For that, he said the court should withdraw them from the inner bar and dock them for contempt. The defense counsel, Adiola Adedigbe San, argued that they have done everything within their power to produce the former governor in court, but failed just like the EFCC, who was granted court order to arrest and arraign the defendant. Adiola Adedigbe San, who informed the court that their client has asked the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court to transfer his trial to Kogi State, where the alleged crime is said to be perpetrated, applied to withdraw his appearance in court for the former governor since he is not the lead counsel. The presiding judge, Justice Emeka Nwite, will equally rule on that application on 17th of July. Yahaya Bello, when he eventually appears in court, will be standing trial on any alleged 82 billion naira fraud. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, as a prosecuting agency, has filed 19-count charges against Yahaya Bello before the Federal High Court in Abuja. Moving on, the National Environmental Standard and Regulations Enforcement Agency and STRADEV Nigeria have reiterated their commitment towards the elimination of lead from pens in the country. They are also seeking safer alternatives to the use of lead in pens. The stakeholders stated this at the Regional Lead Awareness Workshop organized by NESRA in collaboration with pens manufacturers and Standard Organization of Nigeria, which is to raise awareness of the dangers of leaded pens, safer alternatives, and the reformulation of method for SMEs across the country. They argue that exposure to lead could result in irreversible neurological damage, developmental disorders, and other health complications, especially to children.
Move away from the use of leaded products.
We've gone backward and forward, checked international standards, checked regulations, see what is acceptable, see what is what we can do in Nigeria, because we have to understand that we're not really producing any raw materials, and we've come to the understanding that the the maximum level of lead in any pen should not exceed 90 parts per million.
The Minister of State of Police Affairs has called on Nigerians to collaborate with the police through intelligence gathering in order to curb insecurity in the country. The call was made at a one-day Citizens Town Hall in Lafia, the capital city of Nasarawa State. BeeTv News' Rebecca Goffey has the details.
This is the second edition of the Citizens Town Hall nationwide engagement holding in Nasarawa State after it was first held in Lagos State. The Town Hall engagement is the brainchild of the Ministry of Police Affairs, and it seems to curb insecurity in the country through community policy. This engagement in Lafia is to seek opinions of participants on the best way to tackle insecurity issues in the state.
This town hall is therefore part of an extensive series of town hall engagement across the country to catalyze the grassroots understanding of security dynamics and foster community-specific solutions, recognizing that security is inherently local and our approach must reflect an appreciation for the distinct characteristics, challenges, and strengths of each community.
The IGP always said, identify your local problems, use local solutions to solve it. Community policy is a strategy, and we have now pushing it out between UK and US. We have taken our own, domesticated to Nigerian standards.
Nasarawa State Governor says he is open to new ideas on the best way to manage insecurity, despite the success recorded by the administration of the sustenance of peace.
Policing is resource intensive
And we will continue to support the Nigerian police and our security institutions to ensure that they have the necessary resources to effectively carry out their duties.
Other participants believe that enhancing capacity of Police Community Relation Committee will go a long way to enhance intelligence gathering.
It is about building trust and also enhancing communication and also empowering communities to actively participate in their safety and also security.
There must be a paradigm shift. If we want the best for policemen in this country, we must love them, we must care for them, we must listen to them.
The minister also invited some police formation in the state, such as the Police Command Secondary School, the Police Public Relations School, and paid the courtesy visit to the Emir of Lafia to confer with him on security matters. Rebecca Goffey, reporting for BeeTv News.
And on entertainment news tonight, Nollywood actress Sharon Oja has finally unveiled her husband's face after hiding him from fans for months. The Oloture star unveiled her husband's face in a video she shared from their traditional wedding in Abuja on Thursday. In the video, the actress and her groom could be seen brimming with joy as they pose for photos. BeeTv News Gift Uwagwe has details of this and other entertainment stories.
Actress Sharon Oja and her man Ugo Uwoke had their traditional wedding ceremony yesterday, Thursday, 27th of June 2024 in Abuja. A recent post on her Instagram page on June 27, 2024 showed intimate moments from her traditional wedding ceremony. The couple, dressed in a matching sparkling white attire, was seen walking into their venue and embracing each other, thus introducing her man to the world. The actress captioned read, "Introducing the king of my heart, my absolute king." Oja's engagement was announced on social media on March 23rd. However, she kept her partner's identity concealed by hiding his face. A cross-section of Nigerian celebrities, including Funke Akindele, Shafi Bello, Inidima Okojie, Nancy Isime, Riwori Pikin, Big Brother Naijas, Bisola, and Antola Odunsi, attended Sharon Oja's lavish wedding in Abuja on Thursday. Fans, followers, and fellow celebrities took to comment section to congratulate her on her marriage, showering her with goodwill, congratulatory messages and prayers. Sharon Oja, accompanied by families and friends, celebrated their traditional wedding in the capital city. The white wedding is planned for Saturday, June 29th at the same venue. The National Films and Video Censors Board, NFVCB, has warned the releasing of music videos, skits and films without its classification is offense. The NFVCB's classification system assigns age ratings and content advisories to audio-visual content, aiding families in making informed viewing choices and protecting children from unsuitable material. The NFVCB Director General Shaibu Hussaini had earlier said in an interview, announced the extension of the board's classification requirement to include music video and skits. In the statement, Hussaini warned content creators against the distribution of unclassified material. Also, the board condemned the promotion and distribution of same-sex content on the internet, noting that it was illegal to publicly exhibit same-sex relationship in Nigeria. Lastly, on entertainment, Nigerian billionaire Tony Elumelu has crowned Tiwa Savage, JJ Okocha, Ayo Makun, Victor Osimhen, Sabinus, and other celebrities as the legend of our time. Elumelu shared a video clip on his Instagram of his meeting with the stars at the Makalan Lounge, Transcorp Hilton, Abuja. The personalities present included Afrobeats queen Tiwa Savage, football legend JJ Okocha, comedian Sabinus, Napoli striker Victor Osimhen, Ace comedian AY, CEO of Transcorp Hotel Duke Olushola, among others. Their presence at the event showed the Makala Lounge status as a premier venue that attracts not only Abuja's elite but also national icons from various walks of life. The gathering sparked conversations online, with many Nigerians praising Elumelu for recognizing the achievements of these celebrities. With the details of the evening remain undisclosed, the social media buzz surrounding the event suggests it was an evening of friendship and celebration among Nigerians top celebrities. The Makala Lounge, with its luxurious ambience and reputation for hosting exclusive events, provided the perfect backdrop for this gathering of legends. That's it on entertainment news tonight. Gift Uwagbo reporting for BeeTv News.
And to the much anticipated sport news, the United States Soccer Federation condemned the online racist abuse suffered by several of its players following a 2-1 defeat by Panama at the Copa America. Let's join BeeTv News sports correspondent Uyi Lambert of details of this report and others.
Monaco striker Folarin Balogun, Crystal Palace defender Chris Richards, and Juventus pair Timothy Weah and Weston McKennie were all targeted online after the hosts lost the Group C match in Atlanta. Weah, 24, was shown a straight red card in 18th minute after punching Panama's Rodrick Miller in the head in an off-the-ball incident. The former Lille winger, who apologized to his teammates for the incident, said it was a moment of frustration. US Soccer said in a statement on X, "There is absolutely no place in the game for such hateful and discriminatory behavior." Emma Raducanu has been drawn against Russia to the second seed Ekaterina Alexandrova in the first round of Wimbledon, while Andy Murray, if he's fit, will face Czech Thomas Machak. Murray, 37, had an operation on a back cyst at the weekend and says he will wait until the last minute to decide whether he can compete on Tuesday. Seven-time men's champion Novak Djokovic, who is also in a race to be fit, has been drawn against Czech debutant Vit Kapriva. Djokovic, 37, has had minor knee surgery after pulling out of his French Open quarterfinal earlier this month. Second seed Djokovic has been put in the opposite side of the draw to defending champion Carlos Alcaraz, meaning they cannot meet unless they create a rematch of last year's final to Formula 1. Red Bull's Max Verstappen set the pace in practice at the Austrian Grand Prix ahead of McLaren's Oscar Piastri. McLaren Lando Norris, who has been Verstappen's most consistent challenger over the past 5 races, was on a quick lap but ran wide at turn 4 and ended up 13th. Norris has set the fastest first sector time before his error, suggesting the Britain will again be competitive. McLaren have introduced a new front wing for this weekend, which they hope will further improve their performance, especially in slow speed corners. Mercedes drivers Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, who were quickest in the early part of the session, did not do a turn on the soft tyre others lay on. They dropped to 5th and 8th on the timesheet as others did qualifying simulation runs lay on. Verstappen was 0.276 seconds quicker than Piastri, with Ferrari's Charles Leclerc third fastest and 0.3070 seconds of the pace, just ahead of teammate Carlos Sainz. And that is a bit on the sport news segment tonight on BeeTv News. I'm Will Lambert. Always thank you for joining us.
And that is where we'll call it a wrap for tonight's news package. Do endeavor to join us tomorrow for yet another exciting news package. Until we meet again, I am Esoya Osemege. Good night.